Hello, future me. This is kind of the first real episode of this video diary. I am learning how to be a dungeon master. I have been a game player for, I was thinking about it, 40 years, which is staggering, right? Ever since second grade, or a long ass time ago. A kid showed up at recess with the old D&D basic set red box, and I fell in love with that game. I was just stunned that there was a way to take these things that I had always played around with in my head, like of knights and dragons and things like that, and to like actually turn it into a real game. That was amazing. And we were playing it with friends. Like we were playing a game together, but in our heads. That blew my mind. It changed the way I thought. And I've gone away from tabletop and role-playing and come back to it and gone away and come back over the years like a lot of people do. But that pure joy, that's always stayed with me. So I'm really eager to be at a point in my life where I'm going to try and share that joy with other people. And kind of collaborate on things in a way that I don't get to do in novels and designing games that I am not running. You know, when I design a game and it's filled with puzzles and traps and all this kind of cool stuff, and then it goes out into the world and I never play it anymore, right? Because I'm done designing it. That is something I kind of miss. So again, I'm looking forward to trying this DM stuff. So where it stands right now, I have been preparing to be a dungeon master, and I have taken the Dungeon Master 101 course at my local gaming cafe, Tabletop. DM Cat was fantastic. They really walked a group of 5 or 6 of us through a bunch of the different ways that you can streamline the adventure prep process. And they were able to touch on a lot of things that I wasn't familiar with, which is great. So I'm excited. I'm going to try and set up a one-shot session for next Thursday, and I'm going to see if anyone is interested in going. And I'm going to pass the word, and I've got my module picked out. It's a Night of Masks and Monsters that I snagged off the DM's Guild. And I got some minis that I dug out of a shoebox somewhere. And I've ordered up a couple things to kind of help things along, like a battle map and some 2D minis. They're just kind of like press board. And that's a fairly affordable way to get into it. It's worth talking about price. I went out and bought physical copies of the 5e books. I already had D&D Beyond versions of them, but I wanted physical ones. And I'm buying the 2D minis, and I'm buying a couple extra sets of dice and some battle maps. It's a dry erase that I can kind of sketch on. All told, the books are easily the biggest chunk of it. But with class and a couple other things, I'm coming up on a couple $100. So it's not nothing. I think it's a investment that's well worth it, but it's, not nothing. And if things are tight for somebody, that could be kind of a hurdle. But a lot of what I'm doing is also kind of optional. You don't need physical copies of the books. You don't need miniatures. You don't need a battle map. You can get away with pencil and paper, sketching stuff out on a tabletop and using M&Ms to move around the squares and track where things are. So it's not that I needed to do that stuff. It's just helpful for me to have. And if I'm being honest, it's the new toy syndrome, right? I get my new minis in the mail, and I'm excited to go do this one shot even more. So that's where things stand. I'm super curious to look back at this in a few years and kind of see where I am headspace-wise then and how I view this conversation now. So that's it. Next stop is to get the one-shot scheduled and then start doing prep. I am looking forward to it, and thank you future Dan for checking back in on me.